The runtime of this film is definitely way too long, at 3.5 hours. But frankly, I am more exhausted with the repeated, aggressive display of hyper masculinity in most mainstream fare Hindi cinema is churning out right now. If this film was 30 minutes long, I would still be that exhausted. Let's get into it. Before I get started with the review, I am so happy and excited to share that with this video, I am finally launching channel memberships. Do check out the 2 tiers on offer right now and what different levels get you. It's your time to support my work. Hey all, my name is Sucharita. Welcome back to my channel where today we are talking about Aditya Dhar's Dhurandhar, starring Ranveer Singh in the lead role now in movie theatres. Centered around spyman Hamza Ali Mazari, played by Ranveer Singh, Dhurandhar is the name of the covert operation जिसके तहत ये जासूस इंडिया से पाकिस्तान भेजा जाता है to figure out कि internal politics वहाँ चल क्या रही है. The location chosen for this is the town of Layari in Karachi. Partly because it is politically important, but also because यहाँ अराजकता फैली हुई है. Gang wars and a diverse population of immigrants has made Layari a hotbed for corruption and opportunism, जिसका फ़ायदा उठाकर बतौर स्पाई घुल मिल जाना आसान है, तो उसका फ़ायदा उठाने ये पहुंच जाते हैं. Hamza spends many years undercover at this location. He gains everybody's trust and sends intel back to India, which is primarily part 1 of this 2-part film written by Aditya Dhar himself. The world of Dhurandhar is thrilling, it's ugly, and it's magnetic in parts. Ranveer Singh, in a career best performance, proves once again why he is one of the most watchable, serious dramatic actors in Hindi cinema when he decides to take his craft and his abilities seriously. Accompanying him is an all-time Akshay Khanna performance as well. The two actors' ability to work so well with each other is probably the only thing that might make people suppress the urge to walk out from this film, which tends to get supremely dull for huge swaths when decades-old pop songs are not working overtime to keep you awake. The songs are really fun though. Super fun. Dressed in tight-fitted, chest-bearing Pathani suits in various monochromatic colors, Ranveer Singh aligns with Aditya Dhar's brand of hardcore nationalism, delivering a solid performance that effectively covers up the more egregious aspects of this film's advertising. That Pakistan is more or less riddled with internal conflict and bloodthirsty people. It is our job not just to keep them from entering our nation, but also to teach them how to fix their own problems. That's what this film is saying. Now this, like the titles of the various chapters in this film, is heavy-handed. It is just so self-important. Oh yeah, the film is broken up into 8 chapters, signifying little more than passage of time. These titles, the chapter titles, Stranger in the Land of Shadows, The Bastard King of Layari, Bullets and Roses, The Jinn, The Devil's Guardian, The Butterfly Effect, and finally, Et tu, Brutus. They are perhaps an attempt to give the audience a break from trying to follow the sprawling and ever-expanding storyline by splitting it up into neat chunks. This endeavor is largely unsuccessful because aside from being arduous to follow, the story is also deeply uninteresting. It is so hard to care about these characters. They're from a different nation, in a different milieu, they're fighting familiar battles, and they're all so predictable. And for as long as the film demands you to keep your eyes peeled and focused on the endlessly shifting alliances in Layari, it's nearly impossible. At 214 minutes, Dhurandhar overstays its welcome and how, unable to land neither the espionage nor the jingoism with much lasting impact. I do not object to the gore and the violence in the action packed sequences, sure. I just fail to see the point of any of it at all. And for the lack of a clear cause or endgame to root for, the screenplay begins to feel like a drag real fast. All Pakistani men in this film, Arjun Rampal, who's an ISI officer, Sanjay Dutt, who's a police officer, Rakesh Bedi is a politician, they are all stereotypically framed as being crass and indulgent, and all the women subservient. Sara Arjun is a brilliant actor. I've always liked her performances. She plays a 19-year-old who's enamored by the big bad guy and his big bad world. And that's all. Soumya Tandon plays the mob wife who hardly speaks. There's a lady police officer who shows up only to be shot dead within 30 seconds. There's also commentary here to be found on the complex history and political turmoil of Balochistan, which to an unfamiliar audience can be confounding, despite all the film's attempts at slickness. You see, the expanse and the width of the story is not a problem. I love watching an epic play out. The issue lies with how cumbersome the viewing experience is. We are told in the beginning that this is inspired by some incredible real events. No further information is provided. Some names then you find out in this film are real, some are made up, some events are imaginary, some factual. So it is vexing not being able to put your finger on what Dhurandhar is going for, aside from the national pride. In the middle of recreating the 26/11 terror attacks in Mumbai, Aditya Dhar makes the bizarre choice of cutting to real audio recordings that were recorded between the terrorists and their handlers on the day or those days, effectively blurring all non-committal lines he had etched. Clunkily, he does this by pausing the film to show you text on the screen explaining what you're about to hear are real recordings from the event. He does this for the 2001 New Delhi Parliament attacks as well. He uses real footage, news footage from the day, and puts it in his film, taking you out of his own film. Aditya Dhar seems to be saying, it doesn't matter if I don't give you names and facts and I say this is fictional. There is truth under all of this. So the implication to a trusting audience in that darkened room is that everything you're watching in this film is the factual truth, when in fact it is not. A recent docudrama, The Voice of Hind Raja by Kauthar Benhania, jiska review I will link in the description right under this video, that docudrama deploys this technique very well. Real recordings are stitched and intercut with actor recreations. However, that story about Israeli occupying forces murdering a young child in Palestine remains respectful by asserting the authenticity of its retelling. It's not hiding behind inspired by real events. There's a debate to be had there as well. There's a magnificent stretch leading up to the climax, or rather the incomplete version of the climax that you're about to get at the end of this part 1. But in this stretch, you hear the remade title track, Na De Dil Pardesi Nu, and Akshay Khanna and Ranveer Singh barrel forward in a moving car. Ranveer's at the wheel. They're heading straight into another action set piece. It's the kind of sequence that makes you sit up straighter. You're fully aware this is movie magic. But beneath the adrenaline, I continuously felt an unmistakable unease. Something sinister hums under the surface. I can't quite articulate it yet. Perhaps my thought may become clearer when part 2 of this film comes out in April. But you best believe something nefarious is afoot when the film chooses to end with "Ye naya Hindustan hai, ye ghar mein ghusega bhi aur marega bhi." Theaters mein lagi hui hai film, aap dekho aur batao. Dekho. So, like I mentioned above, before starting this review, I launched channel memberships today. I'm offering 2 tiers. They're both with a different subscription fee. I will make a detailed video on it, maybe tomorrow, and talk about it more in the long review live stream that is coming up on Monday. But you check out the membership levels tab tak, and if you've liked and enjoyed and taken something useful from my work all these years, it's been 10 years. Today, maybe consider joining as a member and supporting this journey. My name is Sucharita. Thank you for stopping by.